Hello there, singer. It's your vocal coach, Brittany Jones from Jones School of Music. And I'm here to give you a few quick vocal health tips. So this month is actually Vocal Health Month for all of the students in the vocal division of Jones School of Music. And so we've really been talking about taking care of our voice, AKA our instrument. So back in the day, when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore. I used to play French horn. And I was a bomb horn player. Okay, I was all right. And the thing I remember the most is our band director would never just let us start playing through our entire concert. Absolutely not. When we came in, there were a few things that we had to do before we could start getting into our actual music. First things first, I'd have to check my valves. Make sure they weren't sticky or that they weren't hard to move, because they might need to be oiled. And if they weren't oiled properly, then I wouldn't be able to tune my instrument properly. I also had to take those valves completely off and make sure I got all the spit out of my horn. Sorry, I know it's gross, but it is what it is. And then we would do warm-ups, 15, 20 minutes of warm-ups to make sure that the horn was warm and our embouchure was ready to actually get into a concert. Well, just like we had those physical instruments, my voice is an instrument. So first things first, if I'm not taking care of my body, I'm not taking care of my voice. I want to ask you, singer, are you getting enough sleep? Are you getting enough water? Are you paying attention to what you eat? Those are a few things that you definitely want to take into consideration for preventative care for your voice. We always want to be preventative when it comes to our voice, so that we don't have to do emergency care on our voice. So what are a few things that we need to do? All right, I'm glad you asked. Warm up. Take some time when you get up before you're supposed to sing, a few hours prior to you singing, and do some breathing warm-ups. Do some chest voice warm-ups. Work on your mitts, work on your falsetto. Make sure that those different portions of your registers or your voice are ready to sing. Don't just go straight into it, especially my church singers, my praise and worship leaders, my choir members. Warm up your instrument. Take care of it. All right, number 2, hydrate. Now, I know you've heard this one, if nothing else. Make sure that you are drinking enough water for your voice. And then be aware of things that you might be drinking that are actually taking water away from your body, whether it be caffeine or chocolate, different things that you could be drinking or eating that are actually extracting the water from your body. Stay hydrated. We know the 6 to 8 cups of water. We know what we're supposed to do, but are we doing it? I tell my singers, okay, it's gross, but it is what it is. If your urine is clear, you know that you are hydrated. Okay, so make sure you're drinking enough water and that you're warming up. Okay, another one. Make sure when you are speaking that you are speaking with good breathing technique. Okay, now this is one actually I have to always work on. I naturally speak with the lower voice. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, I can talk down there on the regular. So I have to focus my mind to speak in a higher register, so that I'm not just using my chest voice, so I'm not just using this register, because I'm actually putting a little bit more weight on my vocal cords when I do that, versus sharing the weight between my chest voice and then kind of getting it up into my nose, getting it up into my pharyngeal cavity, and speaking a little bit higher, and taking that time to make sure that I'm sharing that weight equally. And then also use good breathing techniques even when you're talking. That shallow breathing when you're talking makes bad habits for when you are singing, and then you have to go back and train your brain as to what to do. So make sure you're taking deep gulping from the diaphragm, lower breathing breaths, however you need to think of it. Make sure that you're taking time to breathe properly. Okay, I want you to also remember to not put extra stress on your voice. If your voice is tired, rest. Go on vocal rest. just text those people. They'll call you later. Text those folks, or if they're in your home and they're gonna get on your nerves, get your whiteboard, start writing out your messages. If your voice is tired, listen to it and go on vocal rest. There are actually some different things, and hopefully next week we'll get into it with our vocal health tips part 2 that you can do to rehabilitate a tired voice slowly. But the best thing is staying hydrated, resting, and steaming. And we'll talk about that a little bit more next week. But at the end of the day, if you're tired, don't push it. If you're tired, don't whisper either. Because for those of you who think, well, I can just whisper that message out, you're actually doing some harm. You're doing harm if you're whispering, you're doing harm if you're shouting. Okay? So we want to rest if we need that time. Okay, if you want to know more, stay tuned, because next Tuesday I'm going to have a few more tips. Also, if you want to know more about voice lessons, I want you to check out www.bjidentity.com/lessons. We have information about the Jones School of Music. We have piano, organ, and voice lessons in which you can do your online or live lessons, 30-minute, 45-minute, hour lessons, and we are here to serve you. Because my last tip is get a coach. Listen, I know you're thinking, I can sing, and I bet you can. But here's something I always think is funny. We know basketball players, football players, baseball players, these guys and these ladies for WNBA make millions of dollars, and they are professionals. And they have coaches that teach them plays, that teach them how to work together, that teach them every year, every season. So even if you're a professional, why wouldn't you have a coach to make sure that you are maintaining your instrument properly? It's my last tip for the day. I hope to see you next Tuesday for part 2 of Vocal Health Tips. I love you. See you soon.